Today we take a look at WordPress 5's Gutenberg content editing interface. It's a major user interface update with a learning curve, where web direction, the digital marketing company, optimize, promote, convert.
Hello everyone. When WordPress 5.0 is coming, they were talking about the end of November. It's looking more like sometime in December. And they're taking their time because it's going to be a major release and it's going to change a lot of things. And one thing you want to be aware of is that there are thousands of themes and plugins. People are using a lot of different combinations. And if your plugin developers and your theme developers have not updated to get on board with Gutenberg, they can break. Now, we have prepared 3 options for you. One is to move to a theme called Divi, which I want to tell you a little bit about as we look at this screen. You can see an animation there where there are a ton of different modules, and the concept is actually similar in a way to what Gutenberg calls blocks. In Divi, you have sections, rows, and modules with a ton of things that you can do, including global elements to store some of these things. There's a library, there's draggable widths, and the space between columns is called gutters. You can adjust those and the sizes very easily by dragging them. This is something you cannot do yet in Gutenberg without some advanced CSS coding. Here's a list of all of the different types of modules in Divi, including accordion for frequently asked questions, a blog module, email divider, portfolio, person module, a ton of them, a shop module for WooCommerce. Make child themes of the standard WordPress themes that come from the WordPress core people, and the most recent one is called 2017, which you can see up at the top left. And over on the right, you can see right here, there was some space in this theme set aside for a sidebar with widgets in it, and we've turned that off in our child theme, which is one of the good things you can do in a child theme, is universally modify the structure of the theme itself. And that's because Gutenberg works better without an initial sidebar, but you can add widgets in via Gutenberg for a standard sidebar. So here's Gutenberg just by itself on the back end. Gutenberg post title here, and then if you want to start typing, you type in a different block here. Type your actual post in a separate block. What if I want to add an image? The plus sign up at the top left. And here's where we select different types of blocks in Gutenberg. So I can select an image, and then I can go to the media library, which most of you are probably familiar with. And I'll just select that one and drop it in there. Okay, so I can save it as a draft up at the top now. Looking at block controls on the right hand side, which are new, and some of the same old controls that you're used to already are under document, like publish immediately. And then when I click preview, it's going to push us to the front part of the site, because your editing in Gutenberg takes place on the back side of the site. This is what the post looks like. Now, here is a more ambitious layout, more complex, that has the title, text, a large picture, and then underneath 2 columns with a picture and picture underneath it. And then down at the bottom, I've put in a widget block with links to recent posts. All of this was done in Gutenberg, the new editor from WordPress 5. This is how it looks on the front end. And there's those 2 columns I was just talking about. And down at the bottom, the recent posts from widgets. Now we could style what this section looks like here, usually in the child theme. And that's the kind of work we do at Web Direction. Note that I can't edit anything here when I'm on the front side of the website, what people actually see when they visit the site. I have to go back to the editing admin area, and then because this image is in its own block and the text above it is in its own block, you can see over at the left here, let me just slide over just a little bit here. Over at the left-hand side, there are some controls where I could move this text beneath the picture and then update. So now this text, when I refresh, this text right here, will be beneath the image, which will pop the image up right under the headline. Oh, there you go. You can see that the text is no longer above the image, it's beneath it. And then we break into the 2 columns that were set up using the new Gutenberg editor. Okay, now I'm going to show you the advantage of using the Divi theme with WordPress 5.0 or earlier, and certainly beyond. So when we go to a new post, we see sort of the Gutenberg setup, but what we want to do is use the Divi builder. And when I click on that, it's actually going to take me to the front part of the website, and it takes a moment to load. Then where I have all of the power of Divi itself, including 3 choices to start out with, I could clone an existing page. I could choose a pre-made layout, and there are a lot of them that come with Divi, or I can build from scratch and to compare it to the Divi or to the new Gutenberg editor I want to do that. And I'm going to get a new row text to start out with. So I'll just slide down here until I find a text module. Now in the Divi text module, I can first do a title for the page, or a headline. It's another way to say it. Just using the editor here. And then this is a line of text in the Divi editor. Okay, and I'll click the check mark, green check mark, just to save that. Now you can see there's a sidebar over here. Again, it's following sort of the traditional sidebar for a blog post layout. And what we can do is go back to edit the post, exiting the front end builder, and just make sure that we turn off that sidebar. And I'll show you where that is. So there's the settings for the document, and down at the bottom you can see the Divi page settings. I want no sidebar. And I want to save. And now I want to relaunch the Divi builder and see if we can put in those other columns and see how it's done in Divi. Plus, as we're doing this, I'll point out a couple of advantages with Divi that the Gutenberg editor does not have. There's scheduling updates as they go, of course. But I think you'll find that there'll be a number of things you can do in Divi that Gutenberg will not have for some time, if at all. So here I am with my line of text there. And if I want to put in a new, is blue, row is green, and to put in a new module, it's the gray circle with the plus, which I will do. Because what I want to do is put in that image like you saw on the other site. So do an image module and put that in there. Okay. Now, you notice in our modules when we're working in Divi, in the purple tabs up at the top, there's a design tab. And I'm going to use that right now to do something that we can do in Divi that we cannot do in Gutenberg, which is animate this image and just have it fade in. There you can see it. You can actually see the different effects here if you want to try, say, the bounce. The zoom will zoom in. So I'll just stay with the fade. Okay. Now, this is a quick introduction, so I just want to finish up here by putting in a new section underneath here. And remember that the blue is a section, and then it wants to know a regular, a specialty, or a full width, and there's a whole range of choices for each one of those, but we'll stick with regular right now, and we'll just do 2 columns. Okay. And then it wants to know what I want in each column, so I'll start with text. Okay, and then we have another chance to do a module over here, which if I'm following the other layout, it would be text. Or I can choose any post slider, pricing tables, sidebar, a regular slider, etc. Tell you what, let's do one more image to the right here. And let's throw this one out and put in a different image here. And remember that we have the ability under the design tab, under the purple tab, middle tab at the top, to set animation. And this time I could fold it. And now we've quickly done our editing on the front side of WordPress, so you can see exactly how it's going to look. And one last point to make is the whole page is not saved until you go down to the purple 3-dot circle and you click the publish button way over on the right, the green one. So let's just publish that. And then, so we don't see all the controls, we'll exit the visual builder. You should see your page. And as we scroll, we're going to see that little fade in effect. Okay, working backwards, here's the layout that I did in Gutenberg, the new editor from WordPress, folks. It's not as powerful as Divi, but it is a major rethinking of component blocks to create your content. fact, I should edit this one right now, right? Take out that T. And remember, Divi ships with 20 plus layouts, 40 plus modules. It's very powerful, and it offers A/B testing, which we think helps you grow your business.